You think, are we almost live? All right. We are live, my friend. We are live. Um, hey guys, what's up? What's up? What's up? Let me get live chat up here. Hold on. Uh, Deco comes first though. Um, Give me just a second here. Um, ba, 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 ba. There we go. If you can see, I just started uploading a video just a second ago. It's kind of a different take. It's going to be a little bit different than what I normally do. Um, but I wanted to try it out. Um, we are talking about the video I'm releasing tomorrow is all about um, a guy who ran a Japanese teaching program and it did not go well for him. He's making an apology video, which I applaud him for doing. But he dealt with someone named Ken Cannon. Give me just a second. Let me make sure I get chat up here. He dealt
What?
with a person named Ken Cannon. And if you've been with my channel for a while, you may have heard of him. Grumpy, what's up? Let me get you up here so we can get you on chat. If you've been with my channel for a while, you maybe heard of this name before, Ken Cannon. Um, and yeah, Ken's got quite a reputation of not, oops, wrong thing, of not finishing up with courses that he sells to people. And once again, Ken has struck the internet with his common start a course and not finish it, where apparently this guy and Ken were doing like live streams for their students. And now I did place some of the blame on this guy. His name's Matt versus Japan. I did place some of the blame on him, and he admits it too. He says I should have shown up if Ken didn't. But apparently, once again, Ken, who he's done this like this is like the third time I've heard a story of Ken doing this, of saying like he's got like family issues or life issues going on where he can't show up for it. Um, I don't know, man. You can ask Victor. You can ask, if you don't know Victor, give me a flake, give me a break, man. He's dealt with Ken in the past, where Ken didn't follow through with a bunch of lessons that he promised people who paid for them. Um, hey, Adam, what's up, man? I gotta swing chat over to here. I also got to get something to drink. I just did a really long video and I didn't bring anything to rehydrate with. Talking a lot definitely dries you out. Why did it turn that tiny? Oops, no, I don't want to block anybody. It's really big on this screen. Hold on, let me stretch this out. Why is it so tiny? There we go. Hey guys. Friday night. My spring break is almost over already. I want to cry. Uh, it was good though. I got to see my parents today. Got to go eat with them at a nice little restaurant. Um, got to hang out with my son a bunch. Spent some good time with him. We've been playing Elden Ring together. That's been super fun. He's learning. He's surprisingly really good. He's good. Um, I did have to help him with some bosses, but he understands like dodging, getting out of the way, hitting them when they've got an open area to hit. He doesn't quite understand parrying yet in Elden Ring, so I'm trying to get him to understand that. I'm doing some spring clean. Oh, I did a lot of cleaning. Me too. Yeah, I did a bunch of cleaning on my break. I went through my shed. My shed wasn't like a total mess, but it was like slightly disorganized. I had put two bikes in there and a table. So I rearranged it so the bikes are like hanging. The tires don't touch the floor now, so they won't wear out faster. Um, I got the table located in a different situation. I got the ladders hung up back again inside of there. I went through every single drawer in my house and organized it. That's one thing I love to do. You open up a drawer, everything's nice and neat. I love that. My closet's nice and neat again. Everything's arranged in color order along with a size order. Um, got anything I thought was a little bit too old in my freezer or my fridge and cleaned it out. Um, did a whole mopping, a whole shine of the whole, wood floor here. I always do that. I do that almost every single week though. I shine. My son left his shoes on the floor. He needs to put them away, but he's actually asleep right now. He got real sleepy today. We had a big meal for lunch. Um, but yeah. All right, let me check out what's going on. Give me just a second here. Um, I know we're gonna have some people popping in just a second. I need to get on the Discord too. I've been really bad recently with my Discord. I hop in there to talk to you guys every once in a while, but my poor mods, they do such a good job. Um, Especially Jonah and Eric, Meadow. They're all, they're all doing such a good job all the time. And then I just hop on here. Dang it, my thing will. There we go. I hop on here. I don't let them know I'm doing it, and then suddenly I'm just streaming, and they have no idea. It's real bad. I shouldn't do that to them. There we go. I actually rearranged this to be a kind of a different setup too. So I've been doing that. What's going on now? Come on. Now it's kind of tilted. Oh, no, that's too tilted now. If it's tilted, then see the thing that's good is that this can tilt. Ah, there we go. Now it's not tilted anymore. It can tilt, so I use it as my drawing table. Those of you out there who want to be artists in the future, you need to get a table that can move up and down and tilt so that you don't destroy your back. If you plan on drawing for a good portion of your life, that's super important. And actually, hold on, just give me a second here. Let me rearrange my house a little bit here. If you have Alexa, mute me for a second. I'm about to yell at Alexa. Hey, Alexa, turn off living room and kitchen. Hey, Alexa, turn on mood. All right, that's much better. It's almost nighttime. Well, it is actually nighttime here. It's 7:48. But we got silly daylight savings time that messes everything up. All right. Oh, and actually, you know what? I want to open. You know what? I need to do a couple things. I need to stand up and do this. Um, oh, you're sorting out your dice. Nice, 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 nice. I've also been getting a bunch of drawing done too. I've got my whole room full of pictures and everything like that, and because of the wonderful role play group I've got. Oh, I also got to mention my mod Shogun. Sorry, I left you out of there, Osaka Shogun. Um, I also got to work on my TTRPG, which I plan to completely release this summer for free. I'm not charging anybody anything for it. And I was able to finish quite a bit in my room. But what I need now, and I probably need to take a day to do this, is I want to draw the whole universe that my world exists in. And I bought this gigantic graph paper. I mean, it's bigger than even 18 by 24. It's like probably, I don't know the exact size. I can look. But I want to sit down with a table and just draw these giant sort of astral charts of like where these planets exist um, in the Void Star Galaxy. So I got to get to that. Let me open this door over here to my lanai and let me grab something to drink. I'll also let Discord know I'm online since I was rude enough to just start without telling them. Meadow, I just mentioned you. I said that I'm really rude because I start these. You guys always try to help me out with promoting these, and I don't even go into Discord and tell you guys I start them. I just randomly jump online. So first of all, I thanked you guys for always having my back here, but also, telling everybody when I'm online. Give me a second here. Ugh. 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 The worst was I took a nap. Um, I took a nap in the middle of the day, and man, you ever have that? You'd like take a nap, and then you're like, all right, I gotta get up, I gotta get some stuff done. Like I wanted to film this video and stuff like that. It took me like forever to wake up. Like you like wake up, and then like I felt like almost 2 hours where I was like, I'm gonna wake up from nap. Am I awake now? I need to get this done. What's going on? Oh, weird. My Steam Deck was touching my Alexa Dot, and hey Alexa, stop, stop. I'm not talking to you. I'm just mentioning you in a video. Okay, just relax. And like them two touching each other, it made the screen like kind of like vibrate and shake. It was weird. Maybe they don't like each other. All right. You gonna get some coffee? All right, cool, cool, cool. Let me go on Discord real quick and just tell everybody. Um, let's see. I don't know why. My friend just sent me a meme that says, God creates mortals. Mortals create Mortal Kombat. God? Now that's what I'm talking about. What? Uh, he's a good dude. All right, give me a second. Discord, Discord, Discord. And like, thank you all for running the Discord. You guys rock. You're so nice. Um, hey all. Sorry I keep starting streams without coming in here and giving warning. I swear I'll get better one day. Yeah, that's kind of rude. It's like Jonah's always so nice to post it inside of the general chat for me and everything, or announcements and stuff. And if you're wondering, I'm eating cookies, but they're protein cookies, so I'm still watching my beautiful figure so I can remain fabulous. I know you guys are like, well, I've never seen Scott eating like sugary snacks. Nah, nah, just a protein cookie. I have cycled through a lot of these, and I'm gonna say a lot of this protein stuff kind of tastes like garbage for the most part. But I try to give everything a chance and see if I can find. Um, I don't know. We'll see. Quest is kind of like hit or miss. That's not too bad. It's better than the chocolate chip cookie. That was like eating Play-Doh. All right. Let's get something on here to talk about. Give me a second here. I also need to I need to go into I need to go into my studio real quick and make sure everything's uploading okay real quick. Give me a second. Your videos. Okay. Let me edit. Let me see if I can get a different thumbnail on there. Thumbnail. No, I don't want the video link. All right, I'll just come back later and check it. Okay. I did actually reach out to the guy, Matt versus Japan. I sent him. I actually commented on his channel, and I said, "Damn, dude, why did you work with Ken Cannon, dude? What a bad choice." And I said, at least you said sorry and you admitted your mistakes. That's good. But like, you should have never worked with Ken. You need to research before you choose a business partner. Do you guys know who I'm talking about when I say Ken Cannon and stuff? Um, those of you who've been with me for a while probably know. But all right, let me check it out real quick here. Um, okay, I'm gonna give you. Okay. And who wrote this? Does it say who wrote this? Okay. I was trying to recall Ken's story. Hey, Ann, what's up? Thank you for joining. Um, so I went through and just right now I'm doing a little bit of history research here. It says a few years ago I picked up on an interest in learning Japanese. Pretty typical stuff. Hold on, let me switch the screen that this is on so I'm not leaning halfway out of my chair. Um, okay. A few years ago I picked up an interest in learning Japanese. Pretty typical stuff. I was into anime or whatever, so I decided I would try this out. I looked all over the internet for a website that could help me with learning Japanese. After a while of looking, I stumbled upon a website called Japanese Through Anime. This is Ken's, I think, first course. Some of you may be familiar with this guy as some of his YouTube videos are very popular. He flooded YouTube with ads with this course. I decided to check this guy out, and he seemed to be a legit dude who speaks Japanese and has programs for people to learn from him. Late last year, I decided to buy one of his programs with the idea in mind that I could get a full refund within a year if I was not satisfied. Sounds reasonable, right? Turns out I was not satisfied. First of all, half the material promised was missing, and this is something Ken always does. Like he starts a course, tells you how many lessons are involved, never finishes the lesson. This is the third time I've heard a story where he does this. Um, and I've made a video about it in the past, like warning people not to take his courses. This is probably like maybe 8 years ago I made a video about this. I can't remember. I'd have to go back through my log. Um, I emailed him about this and got no response. That was December of last year, and I still got no response. Oh, when was this posted? 8 years ago. Wow, I almost nailed it. Um, that was December last year, and I got zero response from Ken Cannon. Later in December, I emailed him saying I was not satisfied with the results of the program and would like a refund. No response. I emailed him again this week and got no response. I now have to dispute the $30 a month charge. Um, okay, hold on. He's got a parenthesis in the middle of this. It's kind of a weird sentence. I now have to dispute the $30 a month charge. And in parentheses, it says, it was supposed to be about $200 over the span of a few months, but the charges have not stopped. Oh, wow. So he was up to $200 and they kept charging until I get this figured out. Please, for the love of God, do not throw any money in this guy's direction. I'm starting to think he is a genuine liar, a scam artist. Just don't do what I did. Um, let's see what else we got. Another guy says this is a response. It says I don't know what's going on with him, but I will add one thing to support what you're saying, and also that you shouldn't purchase this program. Somewhere in the copy or email, maybe it says that I'm a guest speaker or teaching a lesson or something like that. I've never been part of his program. Oh, that sucks. So this is another Japanese teacher who, and this just happened again too. Ken put another Japanese teacher who's famous on YouTube, Japanese from Zero, George. He added him to an email recently with his newest course saying, George approves of my course. He thinks it's awesome. George was not happy about this. He had nothing to do with Ken's course. And this is something that happened in the past that he also did. And this guy, um, I guess his name's something like Tofugu, Texfugu, Wanikani. I don't know if that's like his name or names he goes by on YouTube, but it says that I'm a guest speaker or teaching on his lessons or something like that. I've never been a part of his program, and he never asked me to be a part of it, nor would I be part of it. I had to find this out when he disappeared, and then people started emailing me because I'm listed as part of the program. This makes me think there was no intention, even from the beginning, to run a legitimate course. So please be wary. Please don't give your money to this program. I've gotten 5+ emails so far from this month on people who have been ripped off. Damn, that that sucks. This guy's not even part of the course, and he was listed as a guest speaker on the course, and he's getting angry emails from something he had no idea was going on because he was at it. Oh my God, dude. And this recently just happened with Japanese from Zero with George. I signed up for an emailing list for AJAT. AJAT is anime acquired Japanese through anime or something like that. Several years ago, I just got an email a week ago talking about how great this Ken Cannon guy is. In light of the posts and posts that have been linked in this discussion, I'd say this reflects badly on him, who hasn't had any content in about 2 years. I just watched this video. Uh oh, we got a video. Oh, this was his old advertisement. Okay, let me make sure I show this guy so you guys never, ever, 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 ever get scammed. All right, give me just a second. Um, if you wonder why I have a bunch of tabs, I just uploaded a video, so I'm waiting for it to upload. I think you can't close the tab while it's doing that, so I don't want to. Let me switch. Let me get my big dumb face out of the way here. Give me a second. Beep. That's the sound it makes when you make a window smaller. You didn't know that? Well, now you know. And here's Kenny Boy. Guys, you remember this face? Japanese through anime.com. Ken Cannon.
Hey, this video is going to be a little different from my normal videos because I was going through the survey results that you guys gave me. Thanks a lot for that. That was awesome. I got a lot of really cool.
All right, we don't need to listen to it. So this is Ken Cannon. He's a lot older now. Let's do a search real quick. Hold on. Get this out of the way. There we go. Predictive text brings him up. That's how famous he is. All right. And look, his Japanese is good. Like Ken can speak great Japanese. Victor's hung out with him, talked to him before. Booking.com. I don't want to listen to an advertisement. That's why I always. All right. I'm not on my premium channel where I don't have to listen to advertisements. I'm not going to pay for 2 channels to be premium. Anyway, let me catch up with you guys while I'm waiting for this stupid commercial to finish. I recently got out of Tall Spin over a few works. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. I need to read. Not a tall spin, a tailspin, Scott. Welcome to the world of English. No, sorry. Okay, hold on. Okay, make it bigger for me. I'm trying to read it off of my freaking OBS screen. I'm an idiot. Oh, Packrat, what's up? Hey, thank you for coming on. Been a fan since JFAC. Never leave us unrested. Dude, Packrat, you're the best, man. Thank you, dude. I really appreciate it, especially when I've seen people been around this long. You mentioned JFAC, so I know you're an oldie but a goodie, Packrat. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Hey, Aaron, what's up? My daughter and I's busiest week of this year so far, finally done. And the house is quiet. She's safely at grandma's for overnight. Feels good. Oh, wow. A night to yourself, Aaron. Wow, 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 wow. What are you going to do? It doesn't it anytime my kid doesn't stay with me, like which is it's rare. Same thing. He might stay over at Nana Grandpa's house. It feels so lonely and empty. I like as if he's gone for like more than 2 days, I start to feel like really kind of where's my buddy? Um, Let me read your stuff here, Meadow. So I recently got out of a tailspin over a few works of art that ultimately just reflected a silly fact of life some may find cringy or amusing. I came to the realization when I was writing down my thoughts on that in a digital notepad. Well, I'm glad you got out of that, Meadow. All right, give me a second. Let me let this finish. So what we're talking about today, and I'll catch up with you guys there in the comments too. And look, part of me feels bad for this guy. Um, he's probably in his 20s. I don't know exactly, but his name's Matt versus Japan. I've seen a little bit of his stuff before. And oh, guys, he said he's watched me 15 years or something. Like 15 years ago, he watched me or something like that. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Matt. Matt versus Japan. And I think his newest video is this videos. I do like the thumbnail he made where it's just him holding a bunch of money. Okay, give me a second here. Let me reopen that screen up. Okay, so this is Matt versus Japan a scammer. This is the name of his own video. And this is what I'm talking about tomorrow. He pretty much goes through this whole business thing he did where he started his own courses. And it sounds like he didn't finish the first set of courses he made. Um, it kind of gets nebulous. I'm going to be honest with you, Matt. The part where you say you moved to Japan and didn't keep up with your courses. You don't really tell us if you finished the whole course set or not. It was $500 to subscribe to his courses. Okay, I'm not trying to be offensive to Matt here, but for the rest of you guys, if you want to learn Japanese, don't pay $500 to a non-native speaker. Matt, I'm sure, you know what? I'll bet you Matt speaks Japanese way better than me. Um, I'd never learned from someone who wasn't a native speaker. I don't really see a reason for doing that. Now, what he was teaching was kind of unique. He was teaching pitch. He was giving pitch advice, so like how your intonation changes as you say different words and stuff like that. Which, I mean, that is a unique sort of offer, but I just feel like you should learn how to just speak the damn words before you worry about pitch. I don't know. I watched some of his courses and they're really professionally done. Like he put a lot of work into these courses, these pitch courses. But he said halfway through it, he ended up going to Japan, moving to Japan, um, you know, enjoying life there and stuff, and kind of lost track of his teaching campaign. I guess it sounds like, this is why his customers were upset. On top of it, the emails he sent out. Well, no, I'm sorry. Ken, he worked with Ken on this project, Ken Cannon, the guy who I just told you is a big scammer. Um, he worked with Ken on this, and Ken was like the head of marketing and made these like emails that are like, you only have a one-time chance and can only subscribe to this $500 lesson until time runs out. And he said he wasn't a big fan of that. Like he realized later that was kind of a scammy way to go about sending out emails, and that he shouldn't have pushed it in that manner, which it's great that you recognize that now. But I feel like, come on, dude. At the same time, this guy's young. I'm sure this guy's still in his early 20s. Ken, I believe, Ken's probably closer to my age. I don't know if he's 45 like I am, but he's probably getting closer to that age. Ken, Ken, the master of scams. This is the only way I guess he knows to go about it, is by making it as aggressive as possible. And look, I think Ken's probably pretty decent at marketing at this point. He's pretty much lived his whole life um, pushing these classes, and who knows what else. I'll bet you there's other uh, scams. I'm sorry, I mean projects that Ken's been working on in the background. Nonetheless, oh, the infamous Matt. I don't know. I don't want to call Matt infamous yet. This is Matt's first time completely screwing up with a business endeavor that he offered his students, okay, his viewers. He probably burnt a lot of bridges with this and pissed a lot of people off. But he has this whole video pretty much saying, like, I screwed up. I let people down. I didn't deliver the full course. I don't know how many refunds he gave. I hope he gave as many as possible. Honestly, with your pitch course, Matt, you probably should have refunded everybody. Um, and then the worst part is he actually he teamed up with Ken, but then he realized how scammy and kind of cheesy Ken is and cut ties to Ken. But then Ken said, "Hey, I've got one more course I'm going to put out. Do you mind if I use your email contacts and attach your name to this last course? I'll give you this percentage of a kickback." And he was like, "Oh, I was really low on money at the time and nothing was coming in." So I said, "Yeah." And then what Ken did was say, "Just so you know, we've got all these Japanese teachers attached to our amazing course." And like the teacher who he added had nothing to do with the course. And on top of it, there was some other kind of Zoom lesson or something like that where this sounds crazy. They offered a Zoom lesson where you paid $150 a month, one time. They come onto Zoom and talk to you about Japanese and the struggles you're having learning it. 150 a month? Do not pay that ever for a one time a month lesson. My God, you unless you're getting at least 4 lessons a month, like 150 fucking dollars. Are you kidding me? I could hire a personal Japanese teacher with a degree in teaching Japanese for $30 a lesson, which would be like 4,500 yen in Japan right now with the exchange rate. And they'd be a native speaker with a background in teaching Japanese and do a one-on-one lesson with me in person, face to face, right? $30 for 4 lessons. It would still be $120. It'd be cheaper than that. Like, what? $150 to meet, sorry, but two non-native speakers talking to you about how you're messing up with Japanese. What the fuck? You know, no offense to Matt. I don't know why you worked with Ken, dude. You should have researched Ken. I did say that in my comments to him. I left a comment on his channel. Let's see. Let's see if we can find the comment. Let's see if we can find it. Wait, where's your comments at? Oh, it's all different now. It's not the same of when I was an old-timey YouTuber. Okay, let's see if we can find my comment here. Oh, TKO Sam did. Takes balls to admit when you're wrong. Good on you, son. Yeah. Good comment. He's right. And I did say that in my video. I said it, at least you're being a man and stepping up to the plate and saying I screwed up. Because he does. He admits like a lot of faults. We're not gonna find my comment, are we? Ooh, does someone have the Termina Moon for their cool? You're a cool person with Termina Moon. All right, give me a second. Maybe if I go by newest. Sort by newest. Ah, there I am. Look, he gave me a heart too. So Matt loves me. That's what that means. When a creator puts a heart on you, that means they're very passionate about you. All right, read more. I said, why would you work with Ken Cannon? Do you know his history with scamming people? Oh man, I get it. You admit you slacked, but you slacking and then working with a guy like Ken who made excuses like he bought too many ads on Google or lost his keys and couldn't finish his classes is a really bad combo. Yikes, man. Hope you can dig yourself out of it. In the meantime, I want to come on Rested channel and talk about it. And he was really nice. Okay, so I got to give Matt does seem like he's probably way more mature than I was at his age. He says, "Yo, I actually used to watch your channel about 15 years ago when I was first getting into Japanese. Yeah, I'd be down to come on your channel." Well, thank you, Matt. I sent him my email address. Oh, that didn't show up. Well, I replied to this and said, "Here's my email address." It might have blocked it because I put my email address. Damn. Now Matt'll never know. Matt. Fade to black. All right. Hey, nice to see you, Mr. Scott Ackerman. Oh my God. I feel like I'm back at school right now. Okay, sorry, let me catch up with comments. Oh, dude. Can't they be reported for fraud? Like, okay, you can send, you can like it reported. I believe all this went down in America, if I'm correct. Ken, I believe, is American. I could be wrong about that. But you would have to go to the Better Business Bureau to report him. This is like gonna fall to the wayside. The Better Business Bureau is gonna be like, oh, really? Some little no-name, tiny, itty-bitty business that barely pays any taxes to us and screwed you out of like a couple $100. All right, sorry about that. We'll definitely look into it when we finish our 5 billion other cases, which are like massive. So, I mean, there's only so much you can do. You can dispute the charges on your credit card. I don't know. Depending on who your credit card person is, it depends. Hey Alejandro, what's up? Never heard of him. Matt's still kind of new to it, but man, look, he's already blown up to like 200K. So he's definitely a lot better at what he does than I do. I'm straight garbage. I'm just joking. Gotta take it easy. Oh, Scott, quick question. What's the TTRPG this weekend? I think we're gonna go to Sunday. Oh, no. We're not gonna play tonight, Anne. Don't worry. You go to bed. You go to bed early, okay? My daughter's Japanese teacher in Japan is amazing, very experienced. They do lessons via Skype. 3,500 yen per lesson. Yeah. Three only 3,500 yen a lesson? Oh my god, dude. So what? Like what is that? Like 20 bucks? 20 bucks a lesson? Okay. Hey Alexa, what's $20 in Japanese yen? No. Dummy McDumb pants. Sorry, I'm a little bit off on there. So it's not 20 bucks. It's about 25 bucks then, right? Hey Alexa, how much is $25 in Japanese yen? 25 US dollars is about 2,732 Japanese yen. Okay. 80 cents. Okay. Um, okay. So you're looking at 23, $24. Very cool. But but think about that. So she's doing it what, every week? Tim, you've been hella busy? I've been doing good. I've been actually really busy with my artwork too. I've almost filled that entire room with all sorts of maps and characters, and I've been doing these like epic 18 by 24. I think that's the inches size drawings that I've been loving it, man. God, it feels so good to just get those big shapes out there on the paper, add a bunch of detail, go back over them with ink, and take like anywhere from a week to a month to finish one drawing. That's like my true passion. If you guys ever want to know, like, what do you love to draw the most? I can do, Japanese paintings and stuff like that. I can do genzai, I can do watercolors, I can do acrylic. My absolute love, the thing I have the most passion about is sitting there with a massive piece of paper, making an ultra hyper detailed picture that is super dark fantasy creature or war or story told somehow in the picture or map. The kind of stuff that nobody ever wants to buy and that wouldn't be very marketable aside from fantasy otaku like me. Um, every week, yeah. So you're looking at a total of $100 about. So for $100, a native Japanese teacher, most likely with education in teaching Japanese, teaches her Japanese. So that's why I'm saying, like, don't pay $150 for $150 a month. And you get two guys on there who are non-native speakers yapping at you about, oh, this is what you need to improve for your Japanese. My God, dude. But it sounds like Matt learned his lesson. He did say after that he was like that was definitely way too much money, and his new lessons are only $18. I think a month. I want to say a month. If it's only 18 a month, that's really cheap. So it sounds like he's kind of refreshed his situation and figured it out a little better. And again, okay, like I want to give him a bit of a break because he's young. I made a lot of business mistakes when I was young. I made a lot of business mistakes when I started my business in Japan. I think part of you gets really excited to start a business, and then part of you, when you do finally start it, realizes, holy shit, there's way more than just enjoying the business. It's a ton of goddamn work. Sig, what's up, man? Glad to see you on here. Mr. Boot, what's up? What's up? What's up? Um, yeah, so I mean that's a bit of a rough one. Let's see what we got for comments. I actually think his parents have a residence in Hawaii. Oh, okay. It is back on YouTube. Childhood trauma from shows that scared me. No, it's back on YouTube, but now it's still blocked in Germany, I think. Um, what are all these comments? Oh, dang, a lot of people were actually really happy with my Silent Hill F analysis. I was kind of shocked more people watch that because that's like 2 hours having to deal with my big dumb face yapping at you about stuff that I think mostly only a small clique of us care about as far as like Japanese horror and stuff like that. But I'm always happy to talk about it with you guys. I'm doing great. It's Freak Off Friday. It sounds like a really bad 90s movie. Julie Anderson and Tom Hanks star in Freak Off Friday. When a 40-year-old man switches bodies with a 14-year-old girl, just think of the hijinks that can happen. Freak Off Friday, starring Tom Hanks. Um, yeah, there we go. All right. What else should we talk about? Owning business is freedom, but you got to work to get that freedom. Man, honestly, I don't ever, aside from like selling stuff on the side, like eventually I want to sell like TTRPG stuff from my artwork and from the stuff that I write and things like that, which will be like, it's not really like running a business. It's just like selling small pieces that you work on. And maybe selling stuff that I get commissioned to do and things like that. Um, that's it's not really like a full business because you're not like hitting up clients nonstop, getting commissions nonstop. Starring Tom Hanks, yeah. You could see Tom Hanks playing the role of a 14-year-old girl, right? I mean, he's a great actor, dude. Um, I definitely see that working out. Let's see here. All right. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. So poor Matt here. He started his own business. It didn't go well. He wasn't able to finish some stuff. Ken stopped showing up for his lives, and he eventually cut ties with Ken. But he's kind of like burned a lot of bridges. He's probably have lost a lot of students, and now he's trying to reboot um, and run a new course that's only $18 a month. I pretty much did an analysis. I broke it down bit by bit. I let him talk. So I'm not going to go over it here because my video for tomorrow is going to be about this. Um, what I'll say to you now, Matt, like, big on you for coming out and apologizing. I think you did it in a way where you didn't try to place any blame on the viewers, which is really good. There was a time you said like I don't want to throw Ken under the bus, but honestly, Matt, I think you get to throw Ken under the bus here. He didn't show up for the lives. I will say you should have shown up by yourself and done them. Um, Captioning is available for videos. Okay, thank you, Alexa, but I don't need it. Um, and he does admit that. He says, like, even though Ken didn't show up, I should have gone out there and done it myself. Hey, Alexa, stop. It's not about you. And it seems like he's learned a lot of lessons about running a business on his own. Um, Sadly, one of the worst lessons he had to learn was you don't work with Ken Cannon. Anything attached to Ken Cannon, don't buy it, don't use it, don't sell it, don't anything. Stay as far away from any Ken Cannon product that you can. And you know, I've had Ken reach out to me before too. One time on Facebook, he said like, "Hey, you're right, man. I totally messed up. I should have never done this." And it's like, but you keep doing it, bro. This is the third time I've heard Ken start a project, and this poor guy Matt got swept along with it this time, and it screwed up his whole image and his whole student base and everything like that. I had to reserve a single pocket in my dice bag for one metal die that will ruin my other sets. It's so heavy. Yikes. Tom Hanks could pull off a 13-year-old girl for sure. Okay, yeah, I figured, man. Passive income is the key, but grinding is hard. Very true, very true, very true. Oh, speaking of which, guys, the Unrested shirts are coming in soon. Um, I finally got one printed and it's headed over to me. I couldn't get extra small though. I could only get small. I want to get extra small so that it's like super tight and it's like Unrested is hugging you all day long. Bird up. What does bird up mean? What does that mean? Can you explain the expression of birding up? Is it like, does it involve some sort of like falling accident? Like, about to get pushed off a cliff, bird up, everybody. Um, please explain. Use it in a sentence. Can you send me the link to the XXL t-shirt? Oh, okay. I want to get the t-shirt. So I've ordered the first one. I'm going to get it. I'm going to wear it. I want to see what the material's like. I also want to feel, here's one thing that kind of drives me nuts. Before I start selling it to you guys, I want to wear it during the summer. And I've got the Unrested symbol right here, the big red dot, and it just says, live to succeed in what you die for. And I want to see what it feels like as far as like, you ever like sweat with the sun on you when you've got like a big vinyl symbol on there and then you realize like it sticks to your chest too hard. And you're kind of like, oh my God, it feels like the weight of the sun is pushing against my chest. That's how you all react. I've seen you guys before. That's how you react. Um, I want to make sure it's not like that. Before I start selling them to everybody else, I want to make sure it's like a real comfortable fit and comfortable material. Um, so when after that, then I'll start selling them off my YouTube channel. Like I'll have a link down below. Might need an XXXL. It's not a tent, Sig. What are you doing? I thought you were asking for the middle finger. Bird Up is just a meme. YouTuber, hey, oh yeah, started when he played Garten of Bomb Bomb. Today felt like it was giving me the bird, no doubt. Oh man, Jonah, you had a rough day, man. I'm sorry to hear about that, bud. There's days like that, man. There's days like that. All right, let's get poor Matt off the screen here. We're not going to roast him anymore. Let's check out what's going on in Japan news. I know Japan was dealing with some fires recently. That's sad to hear. I hope things are going better now. If they want to get rid of those fires, they need to hire the mayor of California so she can take a trip to Nigeria while everything burns. She seemed like she really had it under control there. Taking a little vacay while CA gets baked. All right. All right. Let me check out the news and news. Or they can hire that one firefighter who is like, one person asked me if I could carry their husband who weighs 400 pounds if he was behind a fire in their kitchen. Well, you shouldn't have gotten yourself behind that fire in the first place. That's what she said, something like that. And just like, oh, good advice, good advice. Definitely when I have a heart attack, I'll be like, damn, I should have never had that heart attack. Why didn't my doctor tell me? You learned a ton about aneurysm 4. Oh, shoot. Should we play online, bro? Should we play online today and show everybody aneurysm 4? How do you feel about that, Jonah? You got to mic up though if you're going to do it, Jonah. I want to hear that voice. I want to hear you really RP hardcore. I want to know your agony as you fold the laundry. All right, here we go. Japanese news. Japan Today. I don't really like using Japan Today too much anymore. It's pretty garbage. They've started like charging people to read it, and Japan Today's got some straight garbage news. Like they're way behind every story. And when I mean behind, I don't mean like backing it up with great info. I mean like regular Japanese news is like 2 weeks ahead of them. Narita Airport tallies over 20 million non-Japanese travelers for the first time. Oh, foreign ministers of Japan, China, and South Korea to meet in Tokyo. Well, that's good to hear. I hope they can work some stuff out. Japanese man found at Myanmar's scam hub to be extradited in April. Good. Anime College gives elementary school graduates a perfect send-off. Very cool. Oh, actually, why am I not sharing this with you guys? I'm such a rude host. There we go. Whoops, why did it do that? Why is it? Okay, hold on. Let me just move the window here. If it says PSA, do not buy Japan. You see that one? That one's for Ken Cannon's course. Hold on. All right. Japan team says stem cell treatment helped improve spinal cord injuries. That makes sense. All kinds of stem cord stuff has been helping a bunch with. All right. What do we got here? Let me check up with you guys. Non-winner. Haven't seen you in a while, man. I hope you're doing okay, bud. Let's see. We want to hear your cute anime girl voice, Jonah. Yeah. You guys didn't know? Yeah. Jonah is actually in real life. He's a cute anime girl. Anytime I've talked to him online, he's straight dressed up as Sailor Moon. He's laughing like Tepe Pihiho. Like that's how he laughs. A little low, but I only have my right AirPod in. Oh, is it lower? Is it too low? Do you guys want me to scream? I can scream if you want. Okay. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. We could in a bit. I don't know. Maybe. Okay, actually, if we do aneurysm 4, I want to log off of this. I want to stop this stream. Okay, log off, and then I'll start a separate stream where only people who absolutely want to see it can come join, because it really has like nothing to do with Japan. I'll do that so that way, like, I don't I don't want to suddenly like inject it in the middle of this stream because I want to keep this more like chatting with viewers, keeping up with the Japanese news, getting you guys feedback on what current topics in you guys' daily life and stuff. Solar asteroid belt. So you look like a clump of boogers. Awesome, bro. Um, let's see here. Can I jack up the volume a little more? I don't know if there's any other way I can do that aside from just here. Let me just turn it straight towards my mouth. I don't know. It seems like recently the volume went down a bit. It might be. Do I have it jacked in a different way? I eventually need to buy a new headphone. I need to eventually get a good wireless headphone. I used to have them, and then one day I was eating a sandwich and I got a big clump of mustard on my thumb and I didn't notice it. And I went to adjust the headphones and I smashed all this mustard. Like I just grabbed it a little bit with my thumb like that. And then suddenly like I noticed my voice was like super, it's not this one, it's my old wireless one. And suddenly I noticed it was like really muted, like I was coming in super low. And I looked inside, what did I do? What did I do? There's a bunch of mustard in there. It was not good. I do not know what you are talking about. I need to get some Eve stuff situated before we even think about playing Aneurysm. Oh, that's fine. Dude, if you don't have time tonight, don't worry about it, man. I actually have a Japanese game I can play for a little bit that I want to look into. It's like pretty much only good for stream. Recently, guys, I've been playing this one game. Well, first of all, I've been playing Rise of the Ronin. Um, Freaking fun as hell, dude. If you like Elden Ring, if you like Neo 2, if you like Doki Doki Literature Club, no, I'm just joking. No, we're not connect to this at all. If you just like those kind of games where you have to have like timing and fight and everything like that, Rise of the Ronin is awesome, dude. I am loving it. You get to absolutely customize your own character. So I made it look like me if I was Japanese. Um, and then you get to get all these wild weapons. You get a hang glider, all kinds of stuff. And it takes place. It's a little bit strange because it takes place in 1885 Japan, where foreigners are trying to push in on the land. You got Matthew Perry out there trying to push in, trying to say like, let my ships get in there. The big old ships want to do trade routes with you, and it's a little strange because I'm pretty sure if there were any samurai left in 1885, they wouldn't have been like ceremonial, like, the same way like the UK would still have knights, but the knights were just like a totally ceremonial thing at that point. I believe most of the samurai kind of died out post 1500s, if I'm right. Let me just check. Let me check if I'm right about that. Let me just check this real quick. Let me just make sure there's nothing else to talk about here. Um, Japan's police to stop issuing uniform skirts to female officers? Almost every female officer I've ever seen is wearing pants. Okay, interesting. Um, Tesla recalls almost all Cybertrucks in the US. Is that true? Um, okay. Experts in urge? Experts in Japan urge preparation for major eruption from Mount Fuji. Whoa. Let's read about that first. Is that like for serious? A government-appointed panel in Japan has come up with the measures to do if Mount Fuji erupts on a massive scale and spews large amounts of ash. Japan's highest peak last erupted almost 300 years ago. The panel of volcanologists and disaster preparedness experts released a report on Friday. Mount Fuji's last, excuse me, Mount Fuji's last confirmed eruption began. God, I got a bad case of the burps. 1707. Experts say an eruption on a similar scale would blanket wide areas of Tokyo, Kanagawa Prefecture, and elsewhere within 10 centimeters or more of ash. Oh, with 10 cent. Okay, I thought like I was like, only 10 centimeters. Well, that's not a very large radius. I think everybody's going to be okay. The panel says in its report that it would not be realistic for residents of densely populated Tokyo and surrounding prefectures to flee. It says areas receiving less than 30 centimeters of ash should shelter at home. It says, if possible, residents should stock up on necessities. We actually have a whole um, stock of stuff for like if there's an earthquake, not for a volcano. Osaka's pretty far from Mount Fuji. We should be okay. The experts say people requiring dialysis or nursing care should also evacuate. Oh God, if you got dialysis, dude, shit, man. The panel says the government should establish a system to disseminate information, not disassemble it. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, all right. I thought it was going to be like pretty soon now, any day now. Um, Dude, do you want to talk about Ubisoft? What a bunch of fucking idiots, man. Sorry, it really makes me angry, dude. It absolutely pisses me off. Um, yeah, so they had to suddenly do day one patch where now you can't obviously slot. Okay, let me talk to people like they've never heard about a video game before. So pretty much this video game just released in Japan where you play as a foreigner who's come to Japan to slaughter innocent children, women, and priests. Now, if you're like, wait, that doesn't sound like a Ubisoft game, well, that's pretty much what it is. You're a foreigner who is supposedly a samurai, which there was no historical evidence of that this guy Yasuke was ever a samurai. And you just pretty much bludgeon, kick, kill, slice, decapitate, and absolutely decimate famous religious shrines that still to this day exist within Japan. And it's really funny because, there was an Assassin's Creed based in Saudi Arabia, and they really, really made sure, like, okay, we're not going to do stuff like, destroy religious sites there as a samurai. I mean, not as a samurai, as an assassin. That would be like really, in poor taste. And, definitely the people of that country would be extremely pissed off. Oh, but Japan? Fuck Japan. Fuck Shintoism. Fuck Buddhism. We're just going to destroy whatever we want. They don't care, right? They're a peaceful people. They don't even have an army. We'll destroy whatever we want. Yeah, the prime minister got wind of this. He found out about this and was just like, yo, what the hell? The worst is like these shrines that you can destroy in the game, like they still exist to this day. And there's still priests and monks who work at them who literally were like, I didn't give you permission to show my shrine or, you know, anything about, you know, the internals of my shrine or, use my temple in your video game. Like, what are you doing? And not only that, you're destroying it. Like, you're able to destroy it in the video game. And one aspect of this, and I never really thought about it this way. I never thought like, oh, this is what's going to happen. What their biggest concern was because they've been dealing with a bunch of assholes live streamers recently coming to the country and acting the fool. They're like, what if someone plays this game, comes here and thinks, wouldn't it be awesome if I like acted this whole thing out that you can do in the game? And that's like a good point. I know it sounds absolutely insane and absurd that anybody would do that, but I'm sure you, my audience, and me here can both agree that, yeah, maybe someone would actually try to do that. Um, so Ubisoft was like, oh, they're actually pissed off about that? That's so weird that like a religion that they've had in the country for 1,000 plus years um, being absolutely desecrated by our silly game that's supposed to be historically accurate would piss them off. I guess we'll patch that out. It's like you didn't think about that from the beginning. You thought about it when it came to the Saudi Arabian version. You knew people would be pissed off, but what, you just don't care about Japanese people? And then on top of it, you play as Yasuke, who's he was a black slave sold by a Italian captain who came to Japan, and pretty much Oda Nobunaga saw this guy and was like, "Whoa, this is like a." And I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to be racist or non-PC here. He literally saw Yasuke and thought like, "This is crazy. I've never seen somebody with black skin. This has got to be like some kind of like itazura, like a prank." And he made Yasuke take a bath, and he made Yasuke be cleaned by like, his servants and stuff like that. Like, I mean, like, not that he was like super dirty, but he thought like it was like an ink on his body. And when he realized like that's actually his real skin color, he was like, "Whoa, this is amazing." You should come travel with us when we do like wars and stuff. And he pretty much had Yasuke carry like a bunch of his tools, weapons, etc. Because Yasuke was like, massive compared to these little Japanese dudes at the time who were probably like barely above 5 foot. And he also made him do like dances from his home country as entertainment. Racist, absolutely racist. Of course, Nobunaga. If you've ever read about the guy, the dude was like a straight asshole. Like, I mean, he was powerful, he was strong, he was a hero of Japan, but he didn't get to the top without literally cutting throats. A bit of a power monger, and but the way Ubisoft has written this is that Yasuke was a samurai underneath Oda Nobunaga's reign. And here's the most disgusting part. All right, Oda Nobunaga's sister is prided throughout Japan as number one, considered one of the most beautiful women ever in Japanese history, which I don't know if that's really true. That could just totally be like a legend. Number two, being ultra faithful to not only Oda, but also her two husbands, the first of which was killed. Um, and that's like she's like kind of a symbol of that, a symbol of beauty, a symbol of loyalty, and a symbol of like being a great wife. She was also like she helped with like fighting and stuff like that. She was a tough ass lady. um you as Yasuke can have an affair with her in the game. Like imagine that. Like you take one of history's like most famous um aspects of like pride, beauty, loyalty, and you're like, well, guess what? She's a slut with this foreign samurai who came to the country. You guys know that about your history? Well, now you do. We wrote that into the game. Historically accurate. What the fuck, dude? What a bunch of ass. Like, I hope somebody makes an Assassin's Creed because Ubisoft's from France, right? They make an Assassin's Creed where you play as Napoleon, and he's just a tiny little shrimp of a man who is ultra weak, is cucked by multiple men who sleep with his wife, and just like absolutely decimate any historical reference to him, so that they can kind of feel the same taste of their own medicine and just see how they react. I'd love to see how they react. It just really pisses me off. They just treat the Japanese as like a form of entertainment. That's all Ubisoft sees it as. Japan, they never get angry about anything. We'll do whatever we want. Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima, and look, that's another one that wasn't made by Japan. That was made by an American company, and Japan loves that game. Like they're like, this is so badass. Of course, like there's some exaggerations with like one man destroying an entire like Mongol army, but there really was like a guy historically like this who kind of like became he kind of struggled personally with his as a samurai. You don't like hide in the shadows, sneak up and kill people. You come right out into battle wearing your armor and like, okay, let's go, bro. um, this samurai struggled with the fact that he knew all these ways to like kill, fight. He had superior armor compared to what the Mongols have. um, but what part he struggled with him is he felt like it was kind of dishonorable, even though his country was being attacked, that he hid in the shadows and like snuck into their camps and like killed them at night and stuff like that. And like he had to have like others around him be like, no, dude, look, you're a one man show, you're a badass killer. Like, do what you have to. It's, your country, take it back. And he didn't slaughter, obviously, the hundreds of people that you do in this game, but he was kind of a badass and they made a game about him and it was awesome. Have you ever heard about Japanese people cringe at the names written in red because, oh, yeah, they ran into that too. They had that same thing. I definitely was, when I first started at a middle school and I was correcting papers one time and I didn't do it, but they saw me marking stuff off in red pen and they said, "Hey, that's fine. You can do that. You can mark everything and write the correct answer. But if anything involves a name of the students, please don't do that." And I was like, "Oh, why?" And they explained to me that on a gravestone, you fill the name in with red ink, like when the grave is like freshly put in and you're honoring someone or you're coming back for like Oban week and stuff like that, you fill it back in. That's why, like it's carved into the grave You fill it in with like that red ink. I think it is actually like Genzai ink, and it's to honor the dead pretty much. But to do that to someone who's alive is kind of like gross or in poor taste. Private gym sometimes. Mr. Boo, did you hear about like the past CEO dude? Like about how he like his abuse of women in the office was so insane that he like tied a woman down, like asked her to like take off a certain amount of clothes, tied her down to her desk, not her desk, sorry, her roller chair, like the chair like I have, and then pushed her into an elevator and sent it up to another floor for like her to be like shamed for like having taken off like part of her clothes or something like that. How he would like during like parties and stuff like whisper lewd stuff into women's ears and stuff like that. Just fucking gross shit. And these are the same people trying to be like, yo, we got to be like, more woke. We got to care more about women. Um, that's why we have a woman ninja in this, historically accurate game. And it's like, look, like I don't care about who you're playing as in a game, but number one, don't tell me it's historically accurate. Number two, don't dishonor a people by changing something vital about their history, right? They're not gonna what they want to make a character of Muhammad for a Saudi Arabian game. You're not gonna do that, right? You don't make an image of Muhammad, right? This is like how sacrilegious they're being with some of the stuff that they're doing to the Japanese Ubisoft. It's so fucking gross. There's multiple aspects of this hideous behavior. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. By the way, welcome, draftsman. Um, anyway, yeah, sorry, I get so bent out of shape about this, but this shit pisses me off, man. It really pisses me off. They did this with like any other country, like in Saudi Arabia or I don't know what other country. Like, if they made a game where like a Japanese guy is like in Africa, being part of someone of their, absolutely most famous warriors, and then was going around killing African people, I think, Africa might be pretty pissed off. Well, don't put it past Ubisoft. I mean, wasn't France the place where someone did actually draw Muhammad? And look, like I'm not an ultra religious figure. I'm not like deep into religion. There's stuff I really, follow as far as Shintoism and Buddhism is concerned, but I also follow with Catholicism as well. And I I don't believe in some of the religions that other people believe in. But you know what I don't do is shit all over them. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't be like, oh, let me make a really controversial game where you go in and you just like beat the shit out of this religion's priests, or you just go in and you like massacre people inside of this. Unless there's like some really good plot line that's leading to that, like maybe I don't know, you make like a crazy black metal game, all right, and it's based on like who is that guy? Um, oh, God damn it. What is his name from Burzum? A guy went in there and like killed people in a church. He came in there with like a samurai sword and started like, maybe if you're gonna make like that part of the game, then I'd understand. Like it'd be like, well, this actually happened. Like this guy went nuts and God damn, why can't I remember his name? Um, I should know this. I listen to a bunch of black metal. Charlie Hebdo, he made a drawing of him. Scott, I told you the development team uses Google Images for inspiration. It's a French Canadian mentality. All Asians are the same to them. Well, that's the other thing too. Is like people like there's a the dragons in the game are Chinese dragons, which people are like, who the fuck cares? It looks like a fucking Asian dragon. Dude, it matters a ton. Like how many fingers are on the dragon is like something that only the emperor could do in Japan or the emperor in China at the time. Their dragons look totally different. Switching them over like they're all just the same people is like disgusting, dude. They put a bunch of Chinese architecture in there and just like made a bunch of Chinese homes, which there's nothing wrong with Chinese architecture, but it wasn't in Japan in the 1500s. I saw some people they're like, yeah, but wasn't there like a time where like Japan got really into Chinese like stuff? And it's like, yeah, they got into like Chinese literature. Like pretty much their version of the haiku and writing and philosophy and stuff like that. A lot of it came over during the 1500s, and Japanese people did really enjoy it. And it's still, part of their culture to this day. There's like some stuff they really love about, Chinese writing and stuff like that. But nobody in China was coming over and building a bunch of architecture during that time. Like it doesn't make any sense. And it's because, yeah, they just Googled it, they're like, ah, that looks pretty Asian. All right, fine, whatever. And there's just so many things like that. They had a group in Japan, which is pretty much like a men's group that does like charity work and stuff like that. And they have a flag for their charity. And it's unique just to this charity. And I guess Ubisoft found this and was like, "Oh, I like how this looks. This kanji look really freaking cool, man. Let's borrow it." And they put it in the game. They didn't ask this group. They didn't, you know, try to get anything signed off where they use it. And the charity group's like, "Why don't we don't want to be in a game where you're an assassin murdering Japanese people? I don't want to be part of a game where I'm a foreigner killing Asian people in their own country. Why would you attach our men's charity group to that?" And they're just like, whatever, fuck you, man. We already published it. So, like they made an art book, and it's inside of the art book. And their excuse for not taking it out was like, oh, well, we already published the art book, so who cares, right? There's also multiple statues that they put in the game, and they're statues that are kind of like the same as Muhammad. All right, it's statues that you don't make them in any other light or add them as a piece of art or drawing or painting or a secondary statue, you don't add it because it's like sacrilegious to do. There's statues in the game a bunch, and they're just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? No respect at all. You didn't do any research. You didn't find out like if this was okay with us. They did a bunch of that kind of stuff, and it's the same with like the temples and the shrines. They still exist in Japan, and they're like ultra holy places that survived World War II. And if you want to use these, you can actually get in contact with Japan. They've got their own, version of UNICEF, right? Like they've got that, and you can call them and be like, "Hey, would it be cool? Like, we'd love to honor this place and stuff like that." And they'd probably be like, "Yeah, of course, that's awesome. More, expansion of Japanese history and stuff like that. We'd love to see that." But they just took it. It's just like the equivalent to being like, "What's it like a holy site that's in your country? Okay, we're just gonna use that there. Also, you can fucking smash it." Yeah, they made it a war banner. Yeah, you're right, Aaron. Exactly. It's been in Japan for a long time, the lore of the dragon. But the way that the dragon's fingers, how many fingers the dragon has, and stuff like that, it really changes between the two. And also, the Japanese dragon has a much different shape and everything to it because of the stories behind the dragon in Japanese culture. Like the fact that it has the longer whiskers and everything like that. It's a whole thing. And it's just like they didn't give a shit. They're just like, we'll use whatever we want. We'll do whatever we want. And fuck your religion, fuck your tradition. Your culture is kind of like a good form of entertainment and not an actual people. No, no, Aaron, you're totally right. It was totally there, like super. We're talking not till like they're depicting Japan in about like the 1500s, mid 1500s. Korea was smarter. They abandoned Chinese alphabet, and King Sejong created the Korean alphabet. Ah, Mr. Boot. I know Japanese people would be pissed if I said this, but you're totally right. You're totally right, man. Yeah, they got rid of all the kanji, and they're like, this is too complicated. Like, we got to make this more simple. Japan will never do that. Japan and China will both never do that. And look, I get it, right? It's a pride thing. Okay, it's a national pride. Um, and I get it. But um, you know, I don't know. Part of me never wants to see it dissolve because I love the beauty behind it. Like kanji is so beautiful. And like after you learn how it's written and like the stroke order and stuff like that, I mean, so beautiful. And yeah, kanji comes from China too. Um, although once again, Japanese people would be pissed if you said that. They'd be like, "No, we made up our own language first." Ian says the claws, snout, and other details are different on both dragons. Exactly. Exactly. But did Ubisoft care? Nah, whatever. Chinese, Japanese, same people, right? That's what they did, man. They did a bunch of stuff like that. There's even stuff where there's like Vietnamese stuff, like there's Vietnamese architecture in there, and people are just like, what the, like, no respect, no care, just throw whatever we want in there, slapdash. Not only that, there's gay and non-binary romances in the game. So imagine you take a historical figure like Yasuke. He wasn't gay, all right? He actually was never in any relationship there. But like, imagine if that was like, an ancestor of yours. Like, you went back to that, and like, he can have a gay relation. Like, I'm fine with whatever you want to do in romances in game. There should be every type, gay, hetero, bi, non-binary. That stuff's totally fine. But when you take an actual person who existed and like change their orientation, that's an insult both to the LGBTQ plus and also to everyone else. Like, it just makes, oh, like, this is a form of entertainment. It's not an orientation. It's not a way of life. It's not, it's just a form of entertainment for a game. That's crazy, dude. That's fucked up. Kanji still looks dope. Yeah, man. It does. It does. But I mean, just imagine if you took another historical figure from some other country. Imagine if when they made the Saudi Arabian Assassin's Creed, right? Wasn't it Mirage? Wasn't that the one? And they put a gay romance in there. Why didn't they do that? That's so weird. Because they're only using it as like virtual signaling points. They don't actually care about the LGBTQ plus community. If they did, they would let people know in other ways rather than virtue signaling through changing the historical orientation of a man from the past. Like, that's absolutely like abusing. Like, just using it as like, ooh, look how like in tune we are. Ha ha ha. Guys, look, hey, LGBTQ plus, notice us, like we really care. No, you don't. You're making a mockery of it. It's disgusting. Insane. If you want to do that, use fictional situations. He would have been killed for any non-hetero normative. Absolutely, yeah, yeah. It's insane to me. It's totally nuts. And I'm not doubting. I'm sure there was, gay, non-binary, and lesbian couples back then that existed probably in secret, right? Well, I'm sure. And if you want to make a story about that, that's cool, all right? That'd be fine. I get it. But to change another man from history's orientation simply to signal that, notice us, look, we care about this community. It's just like, no, you don't. You're like using it as another entertainment form in your video game. That's disgusting. People's orientation is not a video game. It's not a form of entertainment. I'm a brother, and yes, this was just awkward, right? Like, don't, same thing. I would think the same thing if they did that with any other race crossover. Yasuke definitely existed. He was a real person. Like, he did go to Japan. He was dropped off there, I should say, sold, sadly, by an Italian shipper. And eventually, when Nobunaga was defeated, he went back. Like, whoever was left that was connected to the party that dropped him off, they got him back. He was able to run. Luckily, I will say, as much as I said Nobunaga was kind of an asshole, he did make sure like all of his like maids, butlers, servants, and Yasuke too were able to escape before he was hit with his final attack. Where if I remember correctly, he actually committed seppuku in front of the enemy. I heard it was like fucking hardcore too. Like, that dude, he was like, I think he like cut out his own guts and like threw it at people. If I remember, it gets pretty graphic. Let's not get into it. Um, and he gave them a chance to escape. And after that, obviously, Yasuke probably scared, like, holy shit, I just watched tons of people die in this massacre. Um, I'm out of here. And he headed back. He, from what I hear, he did learn to speak Japanese. Like, he got pretty good at it. And then he headed back to his own country with the people who came over there with him to begin with. And that's I think it's an important part of history, like learning about this guy being in this situation, the same as the priest Xavier who collected all this ghost stories from Japan when he was there, the priest Xavier. And not only that, he created, I believe Xavier was the one who created the Romaji system, another really important part. But I'm not going to be like, yo, why didn't they make Xavier a fucking samurai, dude? He was there in Japan. You sure he wasn't a samurai, bro? No, dude. Don't change somebody's impact on history just to make a game. That's why we bring bricks to protest. But without all that, how would our modern kids know that they are gay? uh, we had to endure enough, and still now people get harmed for loving the one they love. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, history is brutal to LGBTQ plus. There's no question about that. Um, and I don't think there should be like, I don't think it should be like, well, historically accurate. He would have been attacked and killed. Like, no, you don't need to do that. Just don't change his orientation, right? Like, it's just disrespectful. It just makes it look as like, oh, look, there's extra entertainment options. You can be LGBTQ, all this stuff too. We included all that stuff because look, check us out, check us out. We really care. All these different communities. It's fucked up. Sorry, I really went off on a tangent there. It shit pisses me off, dude. Like it's so disrespectful. It's so disrespectful. And I've had people tell me, they're like, "Why do you care so much? You're not Japanese." Well, my family didn't stop being Japanese. My wife and my kids didn't stop being Japanese. Okay, is it okay if I stand up for them? If I say I don't like seeing their culture made fun of? This, I'm not allowed to be angry about that. I've actually had people tell me that and stuff, like in comments or when I made a video about it and stuff like that, or even here in America, they're like, "Yeah, well, why are you pissed off about that? You're not Japanese." It's like, my wife's, she didn't change. She's still Japanese. Like, I can't be pissed off for my wife for her culture being made fun of. You wouldn't stand up for your wife, your kids? It's crazy. It's funny when they get called the alphabet people. I'm totally like, I work with a bunch of LGBTQ plus. Sorry, it's hard to say. And they're wonderful people. I majored in art next to the drama department. Most of my friends were gay, lesbian, non-binary, etc. It doesn't even phase me. I don't care. Like, be whatever you are. But I think one problem we're starting to see um, is it being forced into situations where not, and this is like my, LGBTQ plus friends telling me this. They're like, I hate seeing it shoehorned into places that it wasn't or isn't. Like, why? I actually had a lot of my friends who are, gay and lesbians say that they hated Dragon Age Veilguard. That they're like, why did they force this in there? Like, they're like, I deal with struggles with this kind of stuff in real life. I don't want to deal with it in a game, of like being, um, dealing with discrimination because they are like non-binary or gay or lesbian. They're like, I don't want this issue in my game. Like, I deal with it in real life where people give me shit about it. Like, why would I want to like combat that social issue in a game? I want to go to a fantasy game to play fantasy. I don't know. I don't know. It just pisses me off. I'd even stand up for anyone, wife or husband, regardless. Yeah, like even if I heard like my friend's wife or husband, like their culture being bashed by another person, I'd be like, yo, that's fucked up. Stop. Right? Whatever. I'll get off of that, guys. I'm sorry. I went off on a bit of a rant there. I try, I don't know. I just hate one of my biggest problems with how Japanese are treated and Asian culture in general, really, all of Asia, is that there's too many times where it's either number one, seen as a form of entertainment rather than a culture, or number two is Asian people, and recently I've seen this a lot in like gaming, they're treated like they don't deal with racism, like as if racism doesn't exist for them. And it's just like as you know, like you hear this white privilege thing all the time. And look, I get it to a certain extent that white privilege exists, right? I understand it. I get it. I get it. I get it. But feel like recently with game developers, they're treating Asian people like they have Asian privilege. Like they're like, well, I mean, you don't really deal with racism, right? So it doesn't matter if we're racist against you in these games, right? Like with Black Myth Wukong, the, there was a bunch of really racist stuff from a lot of publishers talking about like, well, I've heard in Chinese corporations there's a lot of sexism and women aren't treated properly. And when they said like I've heard like even within your own work culture that exists because it's pretty typical of like Chinese corporations. And you know what they did? What Black Myth Wukong's company did? They were just like, what do you first of all, what are you talking about? Second of all, this is not part of the game. Why is this being brought up right now? There's never been any accusations. No one, it's not like Ubisoft where we got two CEOs, like a CEO and I think the other guy is like the CFO, are literally like in court right now dealing with massive harassment campaigns. Um, this never occurred. And another thing they did was there was something, I guess, I think it was Kotaku, saw some kind of like discussion they had in like a business meeting or something like that as far as like Black Myth Wukong was concerned. And they, I guess, used machine translation to be like, look how sexist and racist this stuff is that they're saying in their business meeting. And apparently he completely translated it wrong because you can't machine translate everything perfectly in a language that's not Latin based. This problem happens all the time. And again, like it's just like they're treating Asian game makers, Asia in general, like it's okay to like be pissed off at them, make fun of them, attack their culture. They've got Asian privilege, and it's just like, no, dude, are you joking? Like Chinese, Japanese people, they deal with racism all the time. How many? I can't tell you how many like South Korean friends, how many other Asian friends from all different parts of Asia deal with number one just being called like China man, like just from nothing. All right, or even in my own school where I have to stop a kid because they're like, oh, he's from Japan, Ching Chong Wing Dong Dang, and I'm like, excuse me, like that's offensive, right? And they're like, what do you mean it's offensive? And I'm like, well, first of all, nobody talks like that in any of those countries. Second of all, that's just making fun of someone's language. I don't, you know, little white kid sitting up there at front, I don't come up to you and be like, trees, car, sky, road. Don't doesn't my English sound funny? Like nobody does that to you. Please don't do this to Asian people in general. It's disrespectful. Or like talking about like I've had kids before. I've had to talk to them about like, oh, they should just hit that country with a nuclear bomb, and I'm like, it's probably not something you should joke about in Japan. Like we should just nuke them, and I'm like, that's not appropriate either, man. Like, come on, you're dealing with a country who literally like did get nuked, and they're like, really? They did? Like, god damn, dude, learn about history. Um, I don't know, all kinds of stuff like that. And like, I'm not overly like, hey, respect Asian culture to my kid. Like, they need to learn. They're little kids, so they don't know yet. They don't know saying stuff like ching chang wing dong, ha 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 ha. And I'm just like, yeah, it's not funny anymore. All right, the Asian people deal with racism all the time. So I don't know why these company, like why these game companies, not game companies, these game review companies, like Kotaku and IGN and all these, they like recently been treating them like, you guys are a bunch of assholes. You don't deal with any racism. You got Asian privilege. From what I've heard from your culture, you're sexist and stuff like that. And it's not like sexism doesn't exist in Asia. I'm not going to deny that. All right, there is pay gaps in a lot of Asian countries. Um, but America's still got sexism and racism too. Why don't you worry about your own country's problems first rather than, avoiding talking about an actual game and giving it the props it deserves and rather go to these ridiculous social issues that your country hasn't solved and you're just there pointing the finger at another country who's actually a lot more peaceful, a lot less crime ridden, and, at times a lot less racist even. I don't know. You know what happened recently with Sony, though? Do you know about it, Osaka Shogun? Recently, the Japanese division of Sony has like canceled a bunch of the American Sony games, and they've also made like a new filter where the games have to go through the Japanese higher ups before it actually becomes like a project they're going to work with. And that's due to things like Concord, what was it, $400 million failure? Um, Apparently, Sony Japan is like really pissed off at the American division. Hey, Wikipedia, what's up? How's your book going, Wikipedia? Is it blowing up yet? Give me a second here. We're gonna immediately right now prop it up. Give me a second. There we go. Okay. What was it? What was the name of your book? Let's see. Sony is pushing it pretty hard too recently. Oh, Asia. Yeah. Aaron, you're totally right about that. The most racist people against Asians are other Asians. Oh, I won't deny that for a second, dude. I've never heard such trash talk about other Asian countries than from other Asians, man. Holy cow, dude. They rip into each other. Uh, the Korean soft power has inflated their egos. Uh, I don't know. You gotta admit though, damn, dude, South Korea, media-wise, music, absolutely amazing. Dancing, pretty freaking amazing. Movies, absolutely destroying Hollywood. I mean, yeah, I know budget-wise, Hollywood's still making more money, but I mean, quality-wise, let's be honest, South Korea making way better movies. Video games, you know, Stellar Blade. I mean, they're still making some pretty good stuff, man. I don't know. Even recently, even Japan, man. Japan's been kind of like digging themselves out of like a bad movie rut and starting to make some pretty damn decent stuff. Um, China's stuff is like beyond Hollywood stuff most of the time. Um, I feel like recently, man, there's nothing Hollywood puts out anymore that I want to watch. And I think that's what's really starting to piss off a lot of these like reviewers and stuff like that. They're starting to notice like a lot more of the world's media and quality media for that is coming over from Asia. And this is where I think there's kind of a lot of like vengeance being activated. I think a lot of like um, trying to keep up with the Johnsons type situation, right? Like they're starting to notice like, damn, why is everything seeming like they don't even push their stuff or market their stuff as hard as we do here in America, and they're kind of blowing up our sales? What the hell's going on? Maybe because it's not straight garbage. Maybe because they actually worry about a plot first and, trying to push any kind of agenda second. There's still political stuff in all their movies and games and everything like that, but they don't make that the prime motive. On break right now, Wolfie? Okay, awesome. Thanks for joining us during your break. The least racist Asians I ever met were Filipinos. My best friend all through elementary school was a Filipino kid, Mark Tablante. The only kid who would draw as much as I would draw. Cool dude, man. He was my best friend through school, all through elementary school. My friend who is First Nations is really loving some of the Korea. Dude, Korea, like, every time I check something, I'm like, has Korea made anything new that's decent to watch? And then I watch it, I'm just like, God damn, that was good. Um, I actually watched a really decent Japanese horror movie the other day called come on. Oh, just called Eyes. Just Eyes, EYES, Eyes. It was pretty crazy. Um, not a massive budget. Um, not I don't think there was any special effects at all aside from like makeup as far as ghosts and stuff. And I mean the story was insane. Like the story was just like just like how you end up finding out why this ghost is haunting this person. You're just like, holy shit, like that's a lot of problems in your family. But the story kept me so hooked all the way to the end. Even yesterday, I was playing a Chinese game called Sense, and it's a cyberpunk um, ghost horror game. And the story's riveting. Like I almost finished the whole game in one night. It was so good. And then Rise of the Ronin. Who was that made by? That's Capcom, right? Or no, that's Tecmo. Tecmo Bandai. Again, Japanese. South Korea is the Italy of Asia. Why the Italy? Battle Angel Alita was the last good movie I saw. James Cameron. Man, yeah, I know a lot of people weren't happy with it because it didn't follow the manga directly, but damn, I really like that movie. That movie was freaking great. Avatar. And do you ever notice like well, okay, I'll leave that on the side for now. Avatar was the last movie I saw in the theater. I mean, I don't think I've been to the movies since about 2019. I think 2019 was the last time I stepped in a movie theater, and that was Japan. I think I watched the second Star Wars movie, and I was just like, what is this garbage? And that's what I'm talking about, man. Like, Hollywood's getting stomped. Like, okay, let's take a look right now. Let's do this. Wikipedia, what's the name of your book? If you're on here right now, give me just a second here. Dang. Anyway, hold on. I was gonna try and push Wikipedia's book. She's published or is about to publish a new book. The the fashion? Wait, Wikipedia, what's the name of your book? You're still here. Tell me your book name. Let's give everybody a heads up. She just put a book out about Japan. You guys need to check it out. I could go back through my email and find the link, but I'm too lazy, Wikipedia. Just give me the name. All right. Heart shape. Oh, that's right. Okay, I thought so. All right. All right. All right. There we go. And all right, guys, here you go. Heart-shaped karaoke box. All right. The hardcover is 20 bucks. It's actually pretty cheap for a hardcover. All right. This is what you guys need to check out. All right. Wikipedia, who's been in the J-vlogging scene for as long as I have, if not longer, has dropped her book. Eva Calabrese lives with her parents and wants out of her dead-end job. So when her former college classmate, Tobio, reconnects with her, she makes the leap across the planet to teach English in Japan. All right? I think a lot of you guys are going to enjoy it. In Osaka, Eva is confronted by the Japanese language and culture while navigating her feelings for Tobio. But everything changes one night at karaoke, when she's kissed by the intimidatingly handsome tattoo artist Yuya. But when Eva learns of a devastating secret involving both Tobio and Yuya, is this going to be like Heavy Topias? Wikipedia, do you know Hebito Pierce? The snake in the piercing? Anyway, sorry, go ahead. She flees from Osaka to the sprawl of Tokyo, where a chance encounter with Japan's rising female pop star, Midiko, changes Evie's life forever. Eva's life forever, sorry. Will she learn from her floundering and thrive in a foreign country, or have to go back home to Canada? This fast paced account from debut author E.R. Han examines the pain and power of broken hearts, celebrity life, and growing up. Now, just $13.99 on paperback. There's not a Kindle version? You don't got a Kindle version yet? All right, I'll add it. Okay, sorry, I'm not going to buy the hardback. Please forgive me, but I'll add it to my cart for later. I got a bunch of stuff. All right. So there you guys go. Hold on, I'll go back to it real quick. Heart-shaped karaoke box. All right, if we want to do it the Japanese, heart-shaped karaoke box, okay? Check it out. You don't have it yet? You don't okay. Come out with that Kindle version so that we can have it on Kindle too. All right. When I get it, I'll review it and I'll do a whole video. No, I'm just joking. I won't do that. I won't do that. People, I don't know. I don't think I'd do that. I'm not really a book review. I don't think I have like good literary props where I could be like, this is a really well written book because I don't think I could do that. I could probably review it in the sense of like covering how it feels about Japan. Like, but guys, check it out. You know, an author trying to get out on the scene for the first time. Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe you've published other books. I don't know. Part of the JVlog community. All right, you want to support them? All right, let's check this out. Movies coming out in America in 2025. Oh wow, a Jurassic movie again. Gosh, we haven't rebooted that in like a year. This is all America does, just reboot the same thing over and over again. Nobody, part two. Another sequel. I mean, the first one was pretty good, but I mean, like we don't come out with anything original anymore. I mean, look at this. 28 years later, we're still doing this. We're still doing this. Predator. Another sequel or rebirth, reboot, whatever. The Bride. Okay, first one I've seen that isn't like a reboot. Snow White. Ooh, this one's doing pretty bad right now, I heard. Heard that's not doing so. Avatar, another sequel. Tron, we're gonna do Tron again. Frankenstein. Again? Didn't we just do Frankenstein with the guy from Harry Potter? Mortal Kombat. Actually, I want to see Mortal Kombat. The Thunderbolts. I don't know. Is that based on? Oh, another piece of Marvel garbage. The Marvel, for me, Marvel ended after um, the final Endgame thing. Endgame was really good. I really liked it. How to Train Your Dragon live action. Oh my God, does Disney not have a single original idea anymore? The Conjure, dude, the last Conjuring was so boring. Now You See Me 3, another sequel. Like, do we have anything original anymore? Electric State, I've heard only bad things about this. They said this was pretty damn bad. Captain America movie, only heard bad stuff about that. Of course, another Marvel. Last Breath, actually, I think this might actually be pretty decent. The Gorge. I don't know anything about that one. Okay, so we'll call it original. Odessa might be original. One of them days. But look how many I had to go through before I finally. Oh, Love Hurts looks like it's pretty awesome. Tron. Again, dude. Zootopia 2. All right, we got part 2, part 2, part 2, part 2. Like, is that not ridiculous? I mean, even this is John Wick. This is just connected to John Pitt. Well, part 2. Do we come out with anything new anymore? Do we ever have an original idea anymore? It's ridiculous, man. CA2 Winter Soldier. What's Captain America? Oh yeah, dude. With Bucky, when Bucky came back, dude, Bucky's character was so badass. Why didn't they use him more? He was like seriously one of the most badass. Like that fight where they're fighting across all those streets and everything, and he's slamming his metal fist into everything. I heard Bucky was supposed to actually be the new Captain America, and that they said, well, he can't be because his mind has been like warped by the Russians. And it's like, well, he did. I mean, he got out of that. It was like brainwashing, but they're like, yeah, but now he's tainted. He could never truly be American again. It's like, what? Are you? So instead, we're gonna have the guy who said Captain America doesn't really represent America. Isn't that what he said? Like in an interview, he's like, Captain America is not really about America. It's like, okay, maybe don't play him then. Hollywood is pathetic. I agree. Hollywood is not just pathetic, it's just boring. It's just tired. Like there's not a single movie. Maybe I would go to the theater for Mortal Kombat 2 if I find out it's but if it's like the last Mortal Kombat movie, the one with like Scorpion and what's his face? That was pretty bad. Like that wasn't movie worthy. What are they gonna do? Lilo and Stitch live action. Jesus Christ. Did did they run out of like stories? Like what happened? My God. Oh, and by the way, this movie right here, I remember when I first saw the advertisements for the Minecraft movie, I was like, that looks awful. That looks not just awful, just like hideous to my eyes. And I started to see like all different types of articles popping up that's like, to the men who think Minecraft isn't for them, it's not. It's for, a young kid's movie and stuff. And I asked my son, like, we're talking about a kid who plays Minecraft every day. All right. I said, what do you think? He's like, "Uh, why would I want to see this? This looks incredibly bad. Like, why? I don't, why did, why? Like, he just like kind of like hopelessly looked at me with just like, Steve? Why? Like, why would they do this to Steve? I don't know. Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones was really good. Bucky. It's about bucking. Bucky's a super old name. That's why he's got like a goofy name. I think the original character was written back in like 1950. I think he's like super old. The last movie I saw was Anime. They need to stop giving Jack Black comedy roles. Yeah, dude, I was a huge Tenacious D fan too, man. Like, I thought he was funny as hell, man. I really do. Like, some of his older stuff, like, and Tenacious D is like real. It's actually decent music. It's pretty damn funny. Um, but I don't know. Maybe I just grew out of the humor or what. But like, I've watched some of his stuff recently, and I mean, if I think of someone who's funny, Shane Gillis is pretty fucking funny. That's a funny comedian. Jack Black, not so much. And then he like broke his group up. Like he totally like um I get it. Like his friend said that like nasty comment about Trump, which like I don't care who you're for president, you shouldn't talk about assassinations in that way. I have the same policy, like I said with, Luigi. I know people were excited that he assassinated someone, and I said like we shouldn't be excited that he assassinated someone. And same with Trump. I'm not like a massive Trump fan, but I also don't want to see an assassination attempt in my country. That means there's like a breakdown of, liberty and freedom if people are trying to get assassinated and stuff like that. It's not something we should celebrate. But I don't think you should have broken your band up over it. Like, so stupid. So he like split the band and fired the other guy because he made that comment. Come on, dude. Like, I get it. Make an apology, say it was a poor taste. I shouldn't have joked about something like that. But don't break up your band over it, dude. So stupid. Elsa was just so good. All the actors and the storyline. School of Rock was good. Yeah, School of Rock was great for its time. 1883. Is it 1883? Is that the one where they're like on the boat and like they're like Like they're like in a time warp or something. Like they're like in virtual reality, but also on a boat. Jack Black is like that celebrity that gets called when the movie maker needs a dum dum for 3 lines. He's kind of become like Adam Sandler. Like, remember when Adam Sandler was like super funny? Um, but then eventually he started putting out stuff like, oh, I don't know, what was that movie with like him and Chris Rock and um, Rob Schneider and stuff like that? Parenting or something like that, or Parents, or I don't know. Those were bad. Like, and then like the one where he's like also his twin sister or something like that, Jack and Jill or whatever it was, and it was like he was really funny for um his earlier 90s movies, and then we hit like mid 2000 and it was just like, oh, what's going on, dude? But he makes tons of money, and apparently he's a really nice guy. So, are people in East Asia as radicalized and divided as North America? No, no, no. Definitely not in Japan. I can say it at least about Japan. Like, there's not the type of polar opposites that you deal with here in America. Um, you know, I can definitely say I don't ever have to worry about what I do or say being called out for being political on one side or the other side when it comes to Japan. I mean, as long as I'm not like hitting hot button topics, you know what I mean? I mean, I try to stay away from that in any country I'm in, but you know, there's no like sort of weird gray area where they're like, oh, so you're this, side of the political spectrum in Japan or anything like that. For the most part, people are pretty apathetic as far as politics are concerned in most of Japan. Um, you know, the only time they get kind of up in arms is when a politician does something that embarrasses the country, and then they're like, "Dude, come on." Um, I don't know. America's crazy right now, dude. America's crazy. Like I have a lot of Republican friends. I love them. I have a lot of Democrats that are my friends too. I love them. Work with almost everybody I work with is a Democrat, and I love them. They're great people. They're awesome to work with. Um, Work goes smoothly. Um, they offer great support. Um, I can't complain about any of them. In my neighborhood here, almost everybody's Republican. They're very far right wing. I still love them. They're good people. So I don't understand this whole like you've got to take a side and hate the other side. This is what America needs to stop doing. This is this is what's tearing us apart. This is what's like breaking everything down. Like the thing that's insane right now is people like firebombing and like doing Molotov cocktails to Cybertrucks and what's the other car that he makes? The Cybertruck and um, the hybrid, whatever. Like I'm the only people I ever saw. So the people who are doing that are mostly those against, the right, right? Like it's people who are pissed off at Elon Musk. And like I get it, I understand. Like I'm actually very worried about the destruction of the Department of Education because that connects to my job. I don't know why this is happening right now. It's scary for me. All right. Um, and I get people are pissed off at Elon Musk, right? That's fine too. You can completely be pissed off at the president or pissed off at Elon Musk. But why do you need to firebomb and destroy, like, number one, like car dealerships? All right. Those people aren't Elon Musk. And then even people's personal property. Like, is life not hard enough for us right now here in America? Like, I know we're doing a million times better. We're a first world country. We live a better life than I get it. I get it. I get it. But times are hard financially. Okay. Don't tell me they aren't. Um, People are struggling, and we got to firebomb and like destroy people's property. Most of the people who own those electric hybrid cars and stuff like that, almost everyone I know was a Democrat who bought one of those. And the people doing that are people who hate the right. They hate like the right side. And like, I get it, you're angry, right? That's fine. Let your voice be known via protest or whatever. But why are you blowing up people's property right now in America? We are so insane. Oh, I would bet you there's a lot of left on left hate right now with that destroying of um, the Cybertruck and his other cars. The link is bunk. Uh-oh. What link? It's crazy, dude. Yeah, I would never buy a Cybertruck. Honestly, anything I've learned about a Cybertruck, I feel like there's a bunch of shit they need to work out on those cars. I get why people might want one. They think they look cool, or they want to, save money on gas and stuff like that. But you know, like I've heard problems of like trying to find charging stations, of like, the actual ergonomics of how it's built and stuff like that. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I wouldn't buy one. At the same time, I'm not angry at anybody who bought one. I don't want to like beat them up or burn their car down. Like, come on. Like, that's insanity. I don't know. This is what's scary to me about our country right now. Number one, we got stuff like the Department of Education being broken down, which I don't know why. I don't know what, like, if there was a plan in place that could explain to me what's going to replace it, I'd feel a lot better about it. But I don't understand why this is going to happen. Like, I'm not, that's scary for me. Do I hate my Republican friends because of that? No. Like, I don't hate any of my Republican friends because that's happening. I'm not happy about it. I think it's, strange and I don't see what's going on. But at the same time, I'm not pissed off at anybody. All right, give me a second here. Spiritual Affairs. King Key Spiritual Affairs Bureau. Wait. Here we go. Let me try to hold on. What happened? Give me a second. Dang it, where's my mouse? There. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, that was weird. Okay. Give me a second here, guys. Oh, shoot. It's already starting? Wait. Ah, dang it. Give me a second. Hold on. Ah, dang it. There we go. All right. What do we got here? Aim. Okay. Oh, she's got a... Oh, it's a flashlight. I thought she had a gun already. Hold on. This is like way too big. Give me a second. Let me shrink this down. All right. There we go. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. Oh, you got a trailer? Hold on. Give me a second here. Let me pause this real quick. Hold on. Game. Give me just a second. Wait, hold on. There we go. Wait, it doesn't mute it. All right, whatever. Okay. Okay, give me just a second. Window capture, properties. Okay. Here we go. What? What happened here? Why is this here? Oh no! He didn't catch the bullet right.
So y'all just sit and watch. You look like you had it figured. Thanks for the help. You James Dutton? Yes, sir.
Mind if we speak?
Whatever you're selling, I ain't buying.
Daddy!
My family's meeting me here tonight, and we're heading north. And we'll keep heading north till I find country's worth the journey.
I admire your courage. If you're gonna pick a fight, you can't win before long.
What's that for?
Not sure. But I'd sure hate you don't have it when we find out.
This
Uh-oh.
journey will be dangerous all
They
the
need
way
to eat
Oregon.
more.
I believe in you. And I believe in that boy. And I believe in our daughter. And that's all.
You can police yourselves, or I can do it.
You don't control them. It's a free country.
That is a free country. That is no man's land, and that's where we're heading.
Anybody else want to pull my family? Anybody?
Uh-oh.
There's
This
only
looks
one
good.
killer in Fort Worth, and that's me.
Uh-oh. Oh, 1883. That 1883. What was I thinking about? Alright, cool. I've watched some stuff about this. Like, I've watched clips of it. Alright. Let's get to the good stuff. I'll have to check it out, Aaron. That does look actually really good. I'm actually a pretty big fan of Westerns. The thing I like about Westerns is usually there's like not a lot of screwing around. You know what I mean? Like they just kind of get to the story. Alright. Here we go. Alright, guess we can't go that way. Why did it face me that way when I started the game? Alright, is the bus coming or not? Can we use the phone? What? I can just go through the phone? Uh-oh. Oh wait, but I can't go through this, huh? Why is she holding it so weird? What? Well, this way's closed too. What the heck am I supposed to do? Oh. What game is this? Oh, it's called, hold on. Kinky Spiritual Affairs. I'm guessing they mean like the Kinky region. Not kinky as in like, I hope that's not what they mean. But it's spelled K-I-N-K-I, which is kinky. It is an actual region in Japan. Oh, check objectives. Go to the nearest building. Gotcha. We got this, no problem. I'm already sprinting. Uh-oh. What is... Okay. I don't know what that's all about. Alright, what do we got here? Search the building. Alright, that's easy. Oh, turn off the flashlight. Well, it's way harder to search. Do I need to turn it off? I have to? It's like way hard to search. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, that's really annoying. Okay, stop. What is that? What is that weird sound? Go to the building next door. Okay. What do you guys think so far? Good game? Alright. Where's the... Wait, hold on. I can't... Where's a door? Oh, here we go. Alright. Search the building. Okay. This is pretty easy so far. Uh-oh, look at this. Oh no! Did she spill the spaghetti everywhere? Go to the 2-story building. Alright. Oh, I thought that was somebody. Okay, this is the 2-story building. Alright, alright, alright. How do I get into it? Okay, I thought that was a 2-story building. I guess I'll look for another. Is this one 2 stories? No, this is the one I was just in. I'm guessing it's this one. Alright. Where's the door? Oh, there we go. Search the building. Okay. What is there? Like, what is the purpose? What are we doing? Why can't I jump? I was jumping before, now I can't jump when I'm in the building. There we go. Wait, what? I can't jump up that? Okay. Alright guys, get ready. It's gonna be a spooky ghost. I'm sure of it. What's going on, man? What? What? This game has awful control. Okay, first of all, it's way too dark. I understand that that's part of it, but it's so dark I can't see anything. Graphics. I want to just be able to see what I'm doing. Okay. There we go. That's better. Dude, what the heck? The camera angle on this is garbage. Alright, what do we got here? What is this? Oh, okay, this is like a little fire pit. A really old school way of cooking in Japan. Oh, here we go. Oh, cutscene. Uh-oh, my, oh no! Okay, what do I do? Do I hit something? What? Okay. What? Alright. Whoa, 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 whoa. Look how bad those camera angles are. Yeah, what the fuck? Leave me alone. It's like a joke. Shiraishi. Mizuki Shiraishi, exorcist for the Kiniki Spiritual Affairs Bureau Kiniki Sab. I've come to investigate the property and exorcise any and all unlawful spirits. Oh, okay. Whoa. Okay, I didn't see that coming. Oh, melee. God damn. At least use a suppressor. And that's not a warrant. It's a letter of apology. What? How long have you been watching me? Since you passed Katsuragi interchange. Look at 0-20 degrees on your compass. Our drone has been on your tail for 2 hours. This is pretty fucking funny, dude. What? Dude, this is awesome. Who made this game? That's sexual harassment. Oh yeah? In the first place, going AWOL, unauthorized anti-spirit rifle out, and shooting around in Nara's outskirts. Well, thanks to all your messes, I had to stay up. Though at least 2 days now, but now it's fucking 3 days. Well, what's this about harassment, you said, I can explain. Approximately 3 days ago, Saiga's village official account made suspicious posts on social media. Something about a large-scale spiritual attack. Every resident has to calm down and evacuate, and so on. Originally, I just followed the account for free giveaways. That's why the post happened to come up on my timeline. I actually ended up winning, but I tried to claim my prize and the account vanished. And that's not all. The official website has been deleted too. Even though I searched Saiga Village on the internet, nothing came up. Well, okay. In short, Saiga Village itself is completely gone. What the fuck? I couldn't stop thinking about it, so I navigated here using an old map. And as you expected, you found there are no residents, but there were unlawful spirits around. Well, normally, you'd find 1 or 2 spirits around in an abandoned village, but there were way too many for the size of the building. I assume they didn't come together themselves, it's more like something gathered them. By the way, none of our communications work, except for ours that are specialized for the SAB. I found this whole area has been isolated by a force field. Okay, night and have a good one. The question is why I put up a force field and was able to come inside. I got it. But make sure to tell me the next time you do something dumb. By the way, have you taken a look upstairs? I'm on it. Evening, boss. I came to pick up some equipment. How's that case of yours going? Oh, the talismans? I won't have it done today or tomorrow. Analyzing it is pretty tricky. If I make a single mistake, we lose everything. I'm counting on you. Keep on it. You've been watching Shiraishi again, boss. You know she's a free spirit. Hey, Maruoka. I got a feeling this is going to be an interesting case. Want to give us a hand? Okay. I was wondering about the tennis racket case. Wait, how do you? I thought it said you hit E to do melee. Alright, hold on. What is... I need to find out what the control is. Melee. No, not gamepad. Where's the regular one? Oh, there it is. Melee. Oh, not E, F. I thought I saw E, okay. F. What about R? Is R being used for anything? Reload, damn. How do I get out of this? How do I just return the game? Oh, there we go. Look. Ah. How do I keep hitting crouch? What am I stuck on? Okay. Oh shit. What are the weapon you have? What? Yo, what? What? How do I go? Can I get around this? Okay. Okay. Come on. This is not an easy weapon. God damn it. Turn around. Oh, idiot. Where am I going? Whoa. Is this the right way out? Where am I going? No, this is where I came from. Where the hell do I go here? I think they just keep coming forever. Alright, can I break these? Oh shit, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Damn it to hell, they didn't say that. Okay, there we go. Wow. This is definitely a game. I know that one went really far in the sky. I love coming back to the stream with Scott beating up ghosts with a gravestone. Swinging this thing around is killing my back. Show yourself already. Uh-oh. This is a giant TV, right? So there's going to be a bigger, what's her name? Sadako. Okay. Wait, maybe just break the TV? What do I do? She doesn't look like I'm hitting her. Don't get too close. Aim for her shin. Okay. I just used my Dark Souls of like get in real close and hit a bunch of times. That was my strategy. Oh! This is not an accusation of spiritual illegality. Oh, sorry. But in accordance with the act on prevention of unjust acts by spirits, you will be questioned by an administration case. First things first. Your territory is Izu in Shikoka, isn't it? Why are you here in Nara? Satako. Well, I lived before. Well, you see, someone built a house next to the door, and the guy wouldn't stop screaming when he played horror games. So I asked around online for better places to live, and Miss Hanako DM'd me and said, there's a good place for you in Saiga. Wait, who? Miss Hanako. From the toilet? From the toilet. Is she here now? She has been calling a lot of spirits to Saiga village, but my friend Kayako, that's the Grudge, or Juon, was like, that sounds shady, and refused. If you go down the road about 5 kilometers, there's an abandoned middle school. She's probably there. How about residents around here? Where are they? Some of the spirits that you exorcised earlier were the residents. People turn into female spirits with long black hair when they die. Thanks for the info. My bad for messing up your new house. Yeah, I think, you know, I've been on edge these days. because honestly, I figured this whole situation was too good to be true. Whoa, holy shit. Wow, okay. That was pretty brutal. Rest in peace and go fuck yourself. Jesus Christ! Luring spirits to the village and blocking it with force field. Hanako of the toilet. She isn't the type to go around cursing people like this. I wonder who is pulling the strings behind the scenes at any rate. Uh-oh. Ooh. Ooh. Hello? Excuse me. I'm an exorcist from Kaneki Spiritual Affairs Bureau. Duh. I'm gonna shoot your brains out. Oh, she's a shrine maiden. Okay. What? Okay, can we get the next part down? Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, you scared me, dude. My son just woke up suddenly and came out here. It would have been great if you had told me you could do that when I fought Mega Sadako. This area is private property and we need approval from higher-ups to fire the missile. We just got their response now. Chief, we killed shrine maidens from the Saiga Shrine. Do you have any disputes with Shinto Affairs Agency? I don't think so. We've been cooperating smoothly these days. The SAA has been shorthanded just like us. It looks like this won't be a simple case of tracking down and exorcising spirits like usual. Well, I'll head to the abandoned middle school then. Good thing I happen to be wearing a school uniform. I've been hesitating to ask you about it. Why are you wearing that? Oh, this? Because a pretty squirrel girl who got lost is the best bait for spirits. She has no shame. Okay, wow. This is not the game I thought it was. You hungry, bud? Alright. I'll get off of this in a little bit and make you something. Why my camera's slowing down? That's Saiga Middle School. You okay? You got it? You alright? Okay. He's opening a ramen. Okay. Why am I getting lag? Hold on, give me a second, guys. Let me check what's going on with the lag. Oh my gosh, Lenovo Vantage is on. That's why. Huh? Oh, why didn't I buy the same brand? That's the only brand they had there. It was Walmart. That's why. I didn't check before I started the game. The village has no money for demolition, and no one wants the land, so the school has remained here. Okay. The lights are totally on, though. You know, they say that spirits radiate light when they come together. So don't let your guard down. You're gonna be exorcising a ton of spirits now. My chat is 20 minutes behind? I thought so. Give me a second here. I figured it was way behind. Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna restart chat. It's so annoying. Because I was like, how's nobody seeing what's going on here? Okay, give me a second, guys. It's so annoying. Alright, pop out. Pop out. There we go. You okay? Yeah, what happened with chat was I had Lenovo Advantage on, and the thing messes up as soon as a game starts. Everything like loses. I don't know what happens. It just like eats up memory or something. By the way, do you want to know why the higher ups got angry at me just a while ago? Oh, is it because the shrine maidens were killed? Nope, that wasn't really a big deal. Oh, okay. It was about you, dumbass. If you fire your gun without permission again, you're dismissed. Why is that? You are supposed to have learned Force Protocol at the Academy. Oh. An Exorcist of Spiritual Bureau is forbidden from using firearms against unarmed spirit. What? Regardless of whether or not they are hostile. Whatevs. What a pain in the ass. What if spirit hit me with a spike bat? Hit the spirit back with a spike bat. That'd be fair. Boss. I identified one of the shrine maidens in the footage. Nozomi Maikawa, 14 years old. Oh my god, we just killed like a 14-year-old kid. Wow. She's an officer at the Nara Shinto Affairs Agency. Maruoka, you're working for the command now? Mizuki, like, why did it go so fast? Their director just got woken up now, so it's likely they really didn't know anything. So Saiga Shrine is behind everything? You mean the shrine summoned the unlawful spirits and killed all the villagers? No other organization capable of doing such a thing. For what? What do they gain from doing something like that? I wish I knew. Well, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if a closed community like that turned into a cult. That's why the government has been taking over exorcisms from religious institutions. I wonder if that was really the right move, though. There's a lot of talking. I want to get back to shooting. We'll deal with the shrine later. The usual ritual to summon Hanako is knocking 3 times on the 3rd stall from the back of the girl's bathroom. I don't know which floor she's on, but the school only has 3 floors. So start with the 1st. Come on, let's go already. What? Where's my gun? Okay. $10 o'clock already? God damn. Oh, damn. What is this? This punching is awful. aim is really bad. It's really janky. What happened to my target? Now my target just disappeared. I used to have a target. It's gone. The hell? Okay, whatever. That was too easy. I don't know. This game is so weird. I don't know. Yeah. It's Hanako. That was too easy. What the hell kind of parents teach their kid to knock by kicking down the door? I never thought I'd hear that from a brat like you. So why'd you come out from the second stall? Because kids these days, they don't react at all when I come out from the third. So I tried to mix it up and scare them. Okay, whatever. Huh? Why are you calling spirits to Saiga Village? I know you're just a low-level spirit. Who are you working for? Before I tell you, do you know where Hanako of the Toilet takes place? What do you mean, where it takes place? You don't know, right? There is an individual Hanako from each school in Japan. The urban legend is spread by word of mouth. Wait, you mean all the Hanakos in Japan have gathered here? Yeah, about 2/3. I'm from Utsunomiya Second Elementary School. But one of them should be the original Hanako, right? She is the boss. The color of our school bags has faded away, but hers is shiny and red like new. Okay. You can find her easily. Okay, can I just save and... Okay, yeah. Hungry? Yeah, okay, I figured. Alright guys, my son just got up, he's super hungry. I'm gonna make him some food and call it a night for this. That was definitely interesting. I didn't expect the game to be like that. But thanks for sticking with me. Sorry I went off on a rant about Ubisoft. Not a big fan. Love you all for joining me. My video will be up, I think, around sometime 7:30 a.m. or something tomorrow. Give it a watch then if you could. I'd really appreciate it. As always, great hanging out with you guys for the night. It's 10 now, so I'm going to make my son some late dinner. He just took a long-ass nap out of the middle of the day. And I'll be back again with you tomorrow. Okay, guys? Sound good? Join me on Discord. I'll talk to you there. Good night, Sig. Thank you for joining us.